Hopefully, Dr. Phil can help me clear Tim's name. He was on probation for assaulting an ex of his. A prior conviction shouldn't be the only reason to convict someone on a second crime that they may or may not have committed. Things should be investigated and not just assumed by the court. I hope other people watching our story don't make the same horrible mistake I made just because they're angry at someone. I look forward to meeting the body language experts so they can determine whether or not I'm lying. And if they're truly good at what they do, then they'll know I'm telling the truth.
I'd like to welcome my good friends and colleagues, Scott Rouse, Greg Hartley, Chase Hughes, and Mark Bowden, better known as the Behavior Panel. They are the world's top body language and behavioral experts. Guys, thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having us. I really appreciate it.
And you guys have been watching my conversation with Sue. What do you think about what Sue's saying?
There's lots of reasons people show stress. She's showing a whole lot of stress. When we think about stress, fight or flight, respiration increases. You'll see a bunch of mouth grooming, those kinds of things that people do. That doesn't mean you're lying. It simply means you're uncomfortable. But what you'll often find when you're dealing with that is the person that doesn't know body language will jump to a conclusion. If they feel fight or flight, then they must be lying. And they also have the added danger of if I release this person and I'm wrong, there's more consequence than if I keep the person and I'm wrong.
Mm-hmm. But you know, here's some absolutes we do know, is that people absolutely breathe in and they breathe out. And when they're making stuff up, they tend to be very energized, very buoyant, very up. But when I see you, Sue, I see that actually you're quite down, you're quite relaxed, your breathing is going out. So I'm already suggesting that I start to buy in to the story that she's giving here. I already see somebody, that little glimpse of somebody who is probably telling the truth.
Mm-hmm. And Sue, a lot of what I saw is when you were discussing these very particular points of the suffering that your husband's going through and continues to go through, and your actions, there's this little muscle right here on the base of our chin. It's called the chin boss. That's the actual name of that muscle. And this muscle tightens up when a person experiences some kind of shame or grief. And it's very, very hard to fake. Does a person feel genuine shame or some genuine grief about what they've done or what they're talking about? That's one of the muscles that we look for, and it was very pronounced during the conversation.
And I'll add right now, look at her, the centers of her brows are arched, pointed up in a curve, and that's sorrow. You can't miss that.
At the same time, that section up there between the eyebrows is called the glabella. And the glabella comes together like this. We couldn't see this in the green room, but I can see it over here from this side of this corner. You see it right there behind her hair. What happens is that as you do that, you create what we call the grief muscle. That's like an upside down horseshoe. That's when you push up this way, and for some reason, this part of your head pulls down. So you're showing a lot of these things that show you actually feel sad and that you're grieving over a lot of this. A lot of stuff going on in the inside.
But Sue, I can see that you're getting excited because you're hearing that maybe we're agreeing with you, but I think there is some stuff that you're not telling us. And I think, I'll be honest with you, I think there's some stuff whereby you're maybe not telling us how much pleasure it gave you to be vindictive, to have revenge.
After it happened and started to snowball, I almost thought he deserved it.
But I wonder, was there some continued enjoyment? Because as Dr. Phil said, you could have stepped this back at any point. Mm-hmm. And maybe some people would say, hey, I'm in too deep. But maybe some people might go, I'm enjoying this too much.
I did actually for a little while. I mean, I'm not going to deny that.
Oh, I think there was enjoyment no matter what, because I did the deposition and I was going through all of it and I was shocked knowing her and knowing him that she was just kept going.
And we can see the pleasure on your face when you talk about the revenge, just as we can see here when you're telling the truth around why you did what you did.
And by the way, let's be clear, you have no evidence that Tim has cheated on you ever.
No actual evidence, no.
Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.